Yo, check it out. You already know New York City, what time it is. Big shout out to Philly. Old school home. Been so many years. But right now, listen, Inside Edition. I'm quite sure they said maybe you don't know. Let me slow down. All right, the DRAMA, the ROC. Glad to have you here. Now, this here says a man live streams New Yorkers acting like zombies when 33 people overdose. Now, sometimes I talk a little about numerology. There's different forms of numerology. So then you got the numerology where people deal with colors and tell you what the colors represent. Then people deal with numbers, and number 9 means this and 10 means that. So there's different forms of numerology, but from what I understand, this is the numerology they use because it goes into the secret society and But well, one of the top orders is 33. So I'm just like, that's kind of like, why would that particular number be there? But this is Inside Edition, video way less than 2 minutes. And, I was watching something last night, and once I could connect my other phone, I would like to do a video on that. And it broke my heart. I had tears. I was like, this is nuts what I'm looking at. They really want to take people out. So, before we go into the video, right, if this is what I think it is, right now they're using a horse tranquilizer and they're mixing it with fentanyl, and I think they also said heroin. So this is what causing the zombie effect. And during the course of people getting high off of this drug, they are losing body parts. Parts of their body has to be amputated because what they showing from the past previous videos I've been watching, the body begins to really harden. But before it hardens, like concrete, your body start experiencing holes. So some of them got holes. You see some where nurses is wrapping it up, if that's what they are. But the matter of what's going on right now in the world, there's so much that's going on. The Ohio incident with the black water out in Mississippi. There's much more things that's going on we haven't heard yet so far. But the thing is this. Horse tranquilizer. Where did the horse tranquilizer come from? Because you got to also think, if they use a horse tranquilizer, where are they purchasing the horse tranquilizer, and how much are they stacking up on? Because they saying every drug is mixed with these three: the heroin, the fentanyl, and the horse tranquilizer. So I'm like, where the fuck y'all get horse tranquilizers from? How do you get that? Because you can't even go to a doctor to get that unless you're dealing with veterinarians, more than likely. So someone got to hook up with a veterinarian, or they paid a veterinarian. I just want to know. But they said this started out in Philadelphia and right now is in New York City. And they said it's basically going to go through the East Coast. So what you have to understand, I'm about to go into the video, but by them saying basically it's going to attack the whole East Coast, because this is what they said. They said it's going to go in the West or sometime soon. They said it started out in Philly. Right now, my city, New York, is the second of this drug that's being very exposed to people, to where people are saying people has this zombie effect. So let's go ahead and get into the video. Welcome you all. I welcome everyone that listened to this and probably made it to the video yesterday. Thank you. Thank you. Let's go.
Crazy. It's like a zombie apocalypse in Brooklyn. It can't even say. This was the scene after cops say a bad batch of synthetic marijuana hit the streets. Look at the glazed expression on this woman as she gets help from a cop. And here, a guy is sprawled at the feet of a police officer. It was like a scene from the hit TV series The Walking Dead. Cops say more than...
Now, I'm not sure they're going to mention fentanyl, but what I do know is 1 or 2 nights before I left to come here to Philly, I was in a store. God came in the store. I'm getting my Fonto leaf. They call it leaf wraps, Fonto leaf. But as I was getting that, the guy behind the counter was told from the guy that was in the store with me, not with me as like we walked in it together, but he's telling him how there was a spot in Queens. So right now we're talking about the borough of Brooklyn. If you don't know what New York is, what makes New York, besides Manhattan, it's Queens, it's the Bronx, it's Staten Island, and Brooklyn. So now out in Queens, a guy was telling the guy behind the counter of the store that there has been a raid on some dispensary spot and that this spot was putting fentanyl inside the weed. If it's true, I don't know. I didn't try to look into it. I didn't Google anything to see if there was some kind of Queens raid on some dispensary that's probably putting fentanyl inside the weed. So now, the funny thing with this is, I tell people, y'all don't understand what these people be doing. And they are definitely trying to make us into zombies. Not the zombies every day we can't get away from our phone and we on Facebook and IG and no. Zombies that we've been seeing, like what they just showed you just now, those kind of zombies. Because this is how these people's bodies is looking. But when Bloomberg came after Giuliani, if I'm correct. So what happened with Bloomberg, he was upset because, there was a lot of 2K out in the streets. So what happened is they took away 2K and then the 2K came back. So now when that 2K came back, I truthfully believe it was heroin because I'm like, why would people lean? That 2K don't even got THC in it. Well, the first 2K that came out, it was no THC. This is why people on probation or parole was smoking it. Because they're like, yo, it get you high and they ain't got no THC in it, so it won't be in violation. Let's continue.
30 people were hospitalized after taking the cheap but powerful drug known as K2. It's also known by the street names White Tiger and Dank.
It was a horrific scene. Something out of a zombie movie.
Brian Arthur was so stunned by the zombie scenes, he live-streamed video on his Facebook page.
Look at this. A man getting beat up right now. You walk up a block and see nothing but people laying around, shaking on the ground.
The New York Post calls it Zombieland. The Daily News, Street of Zombies. It's not just a New York phenomenon. There are similar scenes in other American cities. This was St. Petersburg, Florida.
It's just horrendous what's going on out here.
But the sheer number of victims in this new case is front-page news.
Bro, this is crazy.
All right, check it out. This is what y'all have to understand. They just show you numerous newspapers, right? In these newspapers, each and every one of them use the word zombie. So whether it's zombie apocalypse, the word zombie, period. It's not no coincidence. A lot of you believe in coincidences. So is a coincidence no, that's no coincidence. Besides, the networks is always run. They all run by a certain conglomerate of people, and then they get sprinkled down into who tell who what to do what and what's going to be the report for the news. So there's no coincidence that all these news have like the same news or the same wording. But keep that in mind. When I tell you there's more to come, this is nothing. This is only for people that's on drugs. Now people like us that's not on hard drugs, they got something for us too. I guarantee it. I even got some thoughts and theories on what it might be. But I won't release that right now. Maybe sometime later during this week. So look, enjoy this goddamn video. Great content, man. Y'all haven't heard or seen the last of me yet. Drama rock. Peace, people.